Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Breaking: Dallas Cowboys lose another massive starter for 2024 defense, Micah Parsons' health vanishes. The Dallas Cowboys watched as another key member of their defense wandered away in free agency on Tuesday. Since free agency started last week, the Cowboys have lost a few key members from their core. Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, and Tony Pollard left for new teams last week. The team released Michael Gallup to save cap space for the upcoming season. On defense, they also released Leighton Vander Esch, as the linebacker was set to retire due to his neck injury. According to Mike Garafolo with the NFL Network, defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins will not return with Dallas for the 2024 season. He's set to sign with the Seattle Seahawks following a visit with the organization on Tuesday. Per the NFL website's transcription, star pass rusher Micah Parsons said earlier this year he wanted the Cowboys to show they were serious about winning a Super Bowl by adding a linebacker and interior defensive lineman. "I said look at every team that was in that Final Four," Parsons explained. Who did they have? Who did Baltimore have? A great linebacking core, right? Who did San Fran have? Great linebacking core. KC, Nick, Bolton, and they came along. We need to get another bigger linebacker. And I said we need to get a super, 330 nasty interior, lineman. I saw the way Chris Jones affected that Super Bowl and I was like, my God. And not even Chris Jones. Mike Pennell. I think we've got a lot of rushers. I think Odigizwa, he can play inside, outside, one of the most versatile DTs. When we lost Jonathan Hankins, he's a big dude, but we need to get one of them big old, nasty, pass rushing, get going, guys. Hankins had 3 sacks for the Cowboys last season before he was placed on injured reserve in December with a sprained pec. Hankins is 10 pounds shy of Parsons' wish, but losing the depth on the interior defensive line isn't what number 11 needs to get an easier path to the quarterback. Parsons is batting 1 for 3 on what he wanted from the Cowboys this offseason. He wanted Pollard re-signed, but the running back left for the Tennessee Titans. The Colts haven't found a feature running back to replace him. Now, one of the biggest starters on the defensive line is in Seattle. The Cowboys did sign linebacker Eric Hendricks, the lone outside addition in free agency thus far. But this roster looks far from an NFC East contender, let alone one with a chance to play in late January. All in? Exodus of Cowboys continues as run-stopping DT Jonathan Hankins joins Seahawks. So far, the all-in proclamation from owner Jerry Jones has looked more like all out the door in free agency for the Dallas Cowboys. The exodus continued Tuesday with run-stopping nose tackle Jonathan Hankins coming to agreement with the Seattle Seahawks after 2 seasons in Dallas. Hankins wanted to remain with the Cowboys but couldn't pass up a better offer from the Seahawks over the cap-strapped Cowboys. Hankins is the 8th Dallas free agent to find a new team this offseason. The others are defensive ends Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler, center Tyler Biadasz and cornerback Noah Igbinoghene with the Washington Commanders, running back Tony Pollard with the Tennessee Titans, defensive tackle Neville Gallimore with the Miami Dolphins, and offensive tackle Tyron Smith with the New York Jets. The Cowboys have retained 4 free agents in running back Rico Dowdle, cornerback Jordan Lewis, cornerback/special teams ace C.J. Goodwin and long snapper Trent Sieg. The Cowboys have signed 1 outside free agent in linebacker Eric Kendricks. The loss of Hankins is a big blow to the team's plan to improve a suspect run defense from 2023. Hankins wasn't a Pro Bowl-level player, but his size made a difference for the run defense when he was on the field. And his presence offset the disappointing rookie season from 2023 first-round pick Motzie Smith, who recorded only 13 tackles as a rookie and played just 4 snaps in the season-ending playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers. With just 3 defensive tackles on the roster, Carl Davis and Osa Odigizua are the others. It is a position we'll look to bolster in the draft and free agency. Cowboys urged to add next Travis Frederick to fill center void. The Dallas Cowboys have a significant void to fill following Tyler Biadasz' departure in free agency. Thanks to limited cap space and continued uncertainty surrounding quarterback Dak Prescott's cap number, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys could turn to the 2024 NFL Draft to mine Biadasz' replacement. That's exactly the scenario that plays out in NFL Network NFL draft analyst Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft projection, with the Cowboys selecting to replace Biadasz rather than stalwart offensive tackle Tyron Smith with the number 24 overall selection. Jeremiah has the Cowboys choosing Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson in the first round. 11 years ago, Jeremiah writes for NFL.com. The Cowboys took center Travis Frederick near the bottom of the first round, and that worked out well. They go back to the same formula with Powers Johnson. Dallas selected Frederick number 31 overall in the 2013 draft, and the former Wisconsin standout went on to play his entire 17-year career in a Cowboys uniform while making 5 Pro Bowls and earning All-Pro recognition 3 times, including first-team honors in 2016. If Powers Johnson is the Cowboys' selection, the organization would likely be thrilled if he also follows Frederick's career path. Powers Johnson is one of the premier offensive line prospects in a loaded NFL draft class at the position. As Pro Football Focus points out, Powers Johnson did not allow a sack across his 3 seasons in Eugene, Oregon, while closing out his collegiate career by earning an elite 84.3 overall grade as the outlet's number 19 ranked overall prospect in this year's class. A stalwart in pass protection with the tools and tape to be a road grader in the running game at the NFL level, Powers Johnson has the pedigree and potential to anchor the Cowboys' offensive line. Broadly built center prospect with below-average length but above-average upper body power, NFL Media's Lance Zierlein writes of Powers Johnson. Powers Johnson isn't much of a knee bender, which impacts his pad level and drive leverage, but he can torque and toss opponents around with some regularity at the point. Powers Johnson is a fierce competitor with a salty disposition but needs to improve his first-phase technique to create more consistent block sustains. Despite average athleticism, he doesn't seem to have many issues in pass protection, as he works with clear eyes, a wide base, and good discipline to keep his weight back. His rookie season could be bumpy if he has to play early, but he should come out on the other side as a long-time starter. Jerry Jones vowed that the Cowboys would be all in on the 2024 season, but Dallas has been among the quieter teams in free agency. Stephen Jones clarified those comments after the Cowboys watched more marquee departures than arrivals plague the early days of the new league year. "I know where the frustration is, it's the fact that we haven't had success in the playoffs to their satisfaction," Stephen Jones said Thursday, via John Machota of TheAthletic.com. "Until we do that, then the criticism is certainly something that's going to be there. We know that's going to be there, but we're going to stick with what we believe will ultimately get us a championship here for our fans. We don't define all in by what you spend in free agency. It's keeping the core together." The Cowboys still have the NFL Draft to address the current needs on the roster to follow through on Jerry Jones' promise for big things ahead in the 2024 season. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Jackson Powers Johnson? Leave your opinion in the comments.